shopping with Gwennie on the go. And January marks unprocessed plant-based food menu. And that's for the month. So I just want to show you some of the things I bought quickly. Always start with fruit, because for breakfast you can even just have fruit, but you want to have diversified fruit. It's better to eat more of different fruits than a lot of the same thing. Okay, Dr. Greger says that all the time. So you can get the different antioxidants. So I have strawberries, I have some bananas, I even went a little crazy and got a mango. Frozen, especially berries, because that's brain health. Blueberries, if you buy them frozen, they're usually less expensive and you can get them organic. Oats, just simple oats. I like the steel cut because they have more fiber. Whole grain bread. Don't be afraid of bread. Just make sure it's whole grain and don't put that butter or the cheese and all of that on it. Try a hummus spread. Try a nut butter. When I really want butter, and I'm gonna go all the way, this is a cashew butter and I absolutely love it. Almost too much, but it's a treat. But it doesn't have the saturated fat, the cholesterol, a little saturated fat, but no cholesterol, no hormones or the toxins that you'd buy in basic butter from an animal. Okay. I really did. I have apples. I eat a lot of fruit. I eat fruit throughout the day. It's the first thing I eat when I wake up. I love pineapple. You could buy it sliced, but it's a little bit more expensive. You just twist this top off. Normally you have to twist it off a little more, and then you just cut the sides. It's a delicious snack, especially for the kids. I have pears. I really do love a lot of fruit, and if you slice it up for the kids, it's a great snack. You put a little peanut butter out, it's a great snack. Now, what do I use for milk? Well, you can use almond. I like soy. Soy, as long as it's not isolated soy protein, is bone, breast, and prostate protective. Don't listen to the hype, and I love soy. So you don't have to buy, you could buy any brand you want, but that's fine. I also went out and got lots of vegetables because I always love to have salad. Now you can just get salad in the bag, get it organic. I like to get it fresh. It's a little bit more expensive. I like the red leaf. I love romaine. It was my favorite, but it was a little too expensive. So I'm gonna make that. I always have a salad every day. And then what I do is I take dried chickpeas, I put them in a bowl overnight, I soak them. Much like these dried kidney beans, which I bought $1.09 at the store, soak them overnight, and then you could boil them the next day. You drain it, boil it, and then you have beans to throw in a salad or whatever else you want to eat. I did chickpeas, that'll be in a salad, and then I'm gonna make some hummus using tahini, lemon, the chickpeas, and I'll probably put, and then water, no oil, salt and pepper. I love celery. I don't know about you, and it has that kind of salty taste. It's for blood pressure lowering. Part of my salad, or just eating again as a snack with little carrot sticks. I bought kale. You can kind of play with it, massage it. Part of a salad. You steam it. This would be a great lunch. And again, you have any beans you want. They're so inexpensive. Adding my, of course, which takes up no room, seasoning sachets to some water. After you've put them in a bowl and soak them, you drain them, put it in the pot, add one of these, and then for about a cup of beans, you'd probably do about 3 cups to 4 cups of water, and then you have beans, and that means you can make burritos, tacos, rice and beans. I also bought rice. That's another grain. You can get millet. There's all sorts of grains. Millet, quinoa. Sometimes I mix the millet and the quinoa and I put it right in here, and then I cook it in the morning for breakfast. It does take a little bit because the grains are hard. Okay. I also buy dried lentils. You don't have to soak these, and you can make a delicious soup or just lentils. All of this stuff, especially beans, are full of protein and iron and all the other minerals and vitamins. But without the saturated fat, cholesterol, hormones, pesticides, antibiotics, and toxins that would be found in animal protein, and often and absolutely no fiber. And fiber is the key. And so is resistant starch. And resistant starch can be found also in grain items. All of these items, the beans, the grains, the fruits, the vegetables, have fiber. And that's so important. I cannot emphasize that enough. Let's see, what else did I get? I have onions. I even bought another fruit. So I have grapefruit. I have strawberries. I have blueberries. I have apple. I have pineapple. And I also bought, these are little treats that I bought. I found these dumplings, tofu dumplings full of vegetables. And again, you can boil these, you can put them in a pan with a little oil and fry them up. And then what I like to do, and this is something else I bought, buy this edamame. You love edamame? This is soy, and this is excellent fiber, tons of protein, 9 grams of protein in a half a cup. That's a lot. Again, without the saturated fat, cholesterol. Okay. I also have some ravioli. They're spinach ravioli. They're basically spinach. There is a little cheese in this. Okay. Don't be afraid of pasta. Pasta is okay if you're not putting all the grated cheese or the ground beef or the butter on it. You can, or the oil all over it. You do that and you make a nice marinara sauce. And again, this is where I would say, and I don't have it here, but my seasoning sachets come in. They take up no room. I have a basil, oregano. You just toss in there, toss in the pot. There you go. Now, even for my coffee, and I thought I'd never be able to give up half and half. I'm not saying not to drink coffee. I'm saying have your fruit first. Ideally, have some poppin' green because you're getting your green tea, which is your antioxidants. Maybe even a green juice, but definitely have your fruit first. Put that, your cells are hungry. Then have your coffee. I thought I could never give up half and half. Well, I finally found, again, soy. It's silk creamer. I have to admit, I really love it. This is not health food, but it's better than drinking dairy. Another little treat. Like, okay, I do like shredded cheese on my tacos. So I bought this almond. I prefer this over coconut because coconut does have saturated fat. I really like that it's almond. Now, there's no saturated fat, no cholesterol. There's 4 grams of fat per serving. And there's 6 grams of fiber because it's almonds. And then I just shred it and then I put it on tacos because I love tacos. I love burritos, tacos, and I make a lot of that. And I usually make it with beans and sometimes put rice in it. And then I shred this and I make sure I put a lot of tomatoes. I like onions, and I did buy some red onions, which are in here, right here. I also bought these little potatoes. They were like $3.99. You don't even no peeling or any. You wash, put it in, you mash. You put some plant milk in. You can even put some nutritional yeast to give it that kind of creamy, cheesy flavor. It's just awesome. It's delicious. I also bought tofu. Yes, it's soy. Again, bone, prostate, and breast protective. It's only isolated soy. You have to be careful because you're removing the protein of soy out of the soy. You want to eat food in their whole. This is a little processed, just like milks are a little processed, the soy milk, etc. But it's just a little processed. Pasta is a little processed. That's okay. Soy is great because there's so much you can do with this. You can make a kind of an Asian style sauce, which I do have the recipe for. It's really easy. It's like using soy. Hold on, let me get it. For instance, it's soy, a little bit of veggie broth, lime juice, rice vinegar, a little maple syrup, my seasoning sachet garlic, and then you mix it. You slice this up, you sponge it, you take all the water out, and then you slice it and put it in, and you just whip it up with this Asian sauce. Or you could just use soy sauce. You could use nutritional yeast. I mean, you can make like chicken little McNuggets or anything else. It's absolutely delicious, okay? Don't be afraid of tofu. It's really good. Now, as a special treat, now it's not health food, but if you're transitioning and you're having an issue, and this doesn't have the isolated soy protein, the patties do, other sources of this do, but this is pea protein, okay, which is better, but it's so good. I have to admit, it's beyond beef. And it's plant-based ground, so there's no isolated soy, etc. I almost wish I didn't see it, because yes, what I'll do is I'll put this in the pan, especially when I have friends. I'll put onions in it. I always make sure I get some vegetables in there and tomatoes. Then I just, fry it up, no oil added or anything. And then I always have, and I like the hard shell taco, and I do that. Red cabbage, I slice that all up. That's my German background. And I love it raw. I could just eat it. Get into the habit of eating vegetables just like you would eat candy. That is key, because that will fill you up with the fiber and get all the nutrients. You can't get any more nutrients than in beans. They have the most nutrients, please. And that includes lentils, obviously. Please, please work on that. And you could do it with something like this if you need that bridge. This was $9.99. It's really not bad. It's kind of a large. There's a ton of protein, but everything that I've showed you here has a ton of protein in it. You don't need more protein. You need more fiber. So we've got, and I'm gonna go, so this is just a shopping trip. And you can go to any grocery store and get tofu. You can go to any grocery store and get, should I cover the name? Beans, you know that. And any kind of vegetables and fruits. Ideally, you want to get organic. If that's not possible, get the fruit or vegetable that has some kind of peel on it. Otherwise, just get it, because it's better to eat it than not eat it at all. You can always get this oatmeal. Don't get the little packets with sugar in it, because that's not good. There's absolutely no fiber in that, because they've broken it down. Steel cut oats are the best, but if you only get oatmeal, I wouldn't do Quaker oats. I would get something else. I'd ideally try to get, especially, I know 7 Farms and a lot of groceries now will carry a more generic organic. Buy that. And then just shop around and check it out, like the different foods. If you're in Trader Joe's, which I love, or Whole Foods, which I love. I'd love to get my seasoning sachets in there. And wherever, this is Trader Joe's. I mean, the nuts, get nuts. That's the other thing I always buy. And I did get, I can't find them, but I did get some pistachios, which are a little more expensive. But I always get, which are my favorite, which are the bronze of nuts, according to Dr. Greger, is peanuts. I love peanuts. Get them in a shell, because then you have to take the energy to break them up. Don't get, because you don't want nuts that oil is added. They have enough of their own. We want to get as much away from the unprocessed. You don't have to be afraid of bread, as long as it's a whole grain. Ideally, no flour. But if with flour, you want whole grain, because you want to get that fiber in. Put a nut butter on it, put avocado, put onions, put tomato. I love it with tomato. And that's it. And I just went shopping, and now I'm excited. One last thing. I always get miso. This makes a great soup. I put some water in. I put about 2 tablespoons of miso. Just let it go in there. And then whatever vegetables. And today I will do the kale, but I also have bok choy, which I will do. I'll probably do some broccoli. Some carrots. You got to do a little bit of chopping, or you buy it chopped. And then I'll just add some pasta of some sort, because I didn't get the Asian noodles. I just have, I think, like linguine, and then you throw it in at the, then you make that by itself. And then when you put the soup in a bowl, you put that in. It takes like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, quickie. Get your fruits and vegetables in, and your beans. Okay? It's Gwennie on the go. Shopping for whole food plant-based January 2021. Mwah!